to another video. Today I'm going to talk about what I read in October, and then I've got some book mail I want to crack into that I'm excited about. But first, I've got this cold brew coffee stout by Sam Adams. This is in their winter break variety pack. There's a cold front down here in the south, so I figured it's as good a time as any to break into the winter beers. Bad pour, bad pour. It's good. I feel like I say that every time I drink a beer. Uh, the coffee's not overpowering. There is like a chocolatiness to it that's pretty good. Yeah, not bad for a random stout thrown into a variety pack. I think it's pretty good. All right, so for October, first of all, I think I set a big TBR goal last video of like my spooky season reads, and I didn't get through almost any of them. I am still reading it. I'm 750 pages in and like 400 something to go. So yeah, it is what it is. That book is long, but I'm having fun with it. Last month I did finish Mary by Nat Cassidy. I actually don't remember if I already talked about this or not. I don't think I did. I think I was reading this last time. But yeah, it's so Mary follows a woman who works in the basement of this bookstore, and she gets a call from her aunt who's sick and wants her to basically come back to her hometown to take care of her. The aunt is I forgot her name, but she's a character. She's mean and like dirty. So basically, Mary goes back to this town she grew up in and starts to see things. These hooded women with like blood all on the hood. Women's faces, when she looks directly at them, start to like melt. Very strange book. Very unique. I feel like I loved Mary, the character. I liked the aunt character too. This sort of town, this weird town that the reader's kind of trying to figure out as the story progresses. It was fun. My only complaint is I feel like it did this thing that thrillers often do, where the pace, there's like one pace throughout like the first 75%, and then like the ending feels rushed and really weird, and that's kind of how this felt. Other than that, though, I loved it. I love Nat Cassidy. His writing is great, and he just announced he's releasing a new book, a short story collection with Rest Stop as one of the stories in that collection, and that one's a fun one. So I'm gonna definitely pick that up. Next up was an audiobook. I listened to The Long Walk by Stephen King. I went into The Long Walk expecting like nothing. I didn't really know the premise other than it's a bunch of teenagers on some kind of walking competition. I guess that pretty much is the entire premise. But I didn't have high expectations. That's why I did the audiobook on a road trip. I was like, let's knock out a King. And it blew my mind. It was up there, one of my favorite Kings for sure, if not my favorite. It's so much more than what it appears to be. It was very existential, which I didn't expect. At the start, it's kind of like a funny reflection on what it's like being a teenage boy. And then obviously it gets very dark. The characters in it are just perfect. They're all their own person, and they all play a very specific role in the story and represent a certain viewpoint or a certain experience. And it just blends together into this masterpiece. The audiobook is good too. I don't know who the voice actor is, but he did different voices and stuff, and sometimes that's annoying to me or overdone, but it was perfect. It was just enough to where well, there's a lot of characters, and I'm not good with names, so it helped to have that second identifier in the voice that the reader used. So yeah, that was The Long Walk. I still haven't seen the movie yet. I'm gonna wait for it to hit some kind of streaming platform, and then I'll I'll check that out. But I've heard good things about the movie, so I heard it did it justice. It made some different choices, but people who loved the book loved the movie. So I'm excited to check it out. Next up, The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. This book was written by Joan Didion. This is very specifically a memoir she wrote in the year after she lost her husband to a sudden heart attack. Well, leading up to her husband's unexpected heart failure, their daughter is basically in the hospital in a coma, essentially dying. So, like, they're dealing with that, and then in the midst of that, her husband dies. So, I knew that's what it was about, and I kind of took the title, The Year of Magical Thinking, and I thought maybe this would have a lot of insight into, like, a positive spin or some kind of, like, the Year of Magical Thinking makes me think like there is some kind of tricks or deep insights that she uncovered during this first year of grief. It isn't that, but I'm glad it's not. Instead, what you have is a very raw, honest window into grief in a very real way. And you get to know more about her marriage and her husband throughout the book with these memories she shares. And it's just heartbreaking. It's depending on what kind of person you are, this book might not be for you because it might honestly it might be triggering for people who have experienced deep grief. I'm not like that. I love reading about grief. It's probably my favorite topic to read about, only because it feels good to read and be able to relate in a very deep sense. But also, I like reading things that I don't know about for other people. For me, grief is something that is very hard to put into words, and there are very specific experiences that are hard to articulate. And sometimes when you see that on paper, it feels it feels good to I don't want to say like feel seen, but to know that other people have had that same line of thinking. Anyway, long way to say that I really enjoyed this book. If you're in the right headspace, I strongly recommend it. But it is heavy, very heavy. That was it for what I read. Like I said, October was 750 pages of it, but no conclusion yet. I'm hoping to finish that up in the next week or two. Okay, so I've got some book mail here from my favorite bookseller, Revolving Books. He had some sort of, I don't remember what the anniversary was, but some sort of anniversary giveaway. He had like a whole Instagram live event where if you placed an order during that window, he threw in one of the giveaway books. So actually, I think there's 4 books I ordered, and then there's going to be some sort of mystery, one of the surprise giveaway books. So I'm going to open it up. All right, let's see what we got. This is one I bought, Bits of Paradise. It's Fitzgerald and his wife, but it's 22 uncollected stories. I thought that was cool. There's also a bookmark in here. They have the coolest bookmarks. We got a Larry McMurtry, The Last Picture Show. This is the author of Lonesome Dove and Streets of Laredo. All I know about this one is it's about a small town and might be sort of like a coming of age story. But yeah, I'm starting to build out my Larry McMurtry collection. So when I saw that, I snagged it. Richard Yates, Young Hearts Crying. I don't know much about this one. From what I've read, it's about a young artist, maybe a poet, who is married to a woman who's really well off. She inherited a lot of money from her parents, it sounds like, and she's trying to help him out financially as he's like this struggling artist, and his refusal to accept that help, and that's all I know. But I haven't read anything by Richard Yates, so I love a new author. The Lily of the Field and the Bird of the Air. I'm going to be extremely transparent right now. I don't know how to pronounce. I think this is so embarrassing because this is one of the most famous existential philosophers, and I just read a book where there was an entire part of the book about him, but I only read the name. I never said it out loud. It's Kierkegaard. I'm probably thinking about the actor from Succession. I feel like I'm blending up pronunciations there. It could not be that at all, and I am deeply embarrassed that I don't know how to pronounce it. But like I said, he's an existential philosopher. I just read Irrational Man by William Barrett, and like I said, there's a whole part on him and his contribution to existentialism. He's a Christian existentialist, and I think this is his either analysis or his take on the Sermon on the Mount. So that's what that is. This was the most expensive purchase. Marshlands and Prometheus Misbound by Andre Gide. I don't know anything about what this is about, but Gide wrote The Immoralist, and I loved that. And I just love the look and feel of this book. So yeah, excited to dive into that. And then this is whatever, this is the giveaway book, Dispatches by Michael Hare. I haven't heard of it, but it looks, I like the cover. I'm about to read about it, and then I'm gonna, give me a second, let me read about it, and then I'll get back to you. This is a first-hand account of fighting in Vietnam, which sounds right up my alley, and that's awesome. I'm stoked about this. So yeah, that's what I got. I'm wearing way too many clothes. I ran to the store right before filming this, and it was cold out, and then I came in here, and now I'm about to be overheated. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh wait. Cheers.